skip it. See it or skip it. See it or skip it.
Welcome, everybody, to a new See It or Skip It, where it is a Scream-a-thon. We're going to be talking about all of the movies in celebration for the 30th anniversary of the very first one and Scream 7 that is out in theaters right now. And we have so much more to talk about. We got a plethora of interviews to go through. Juno Temple from Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, and the director of the new Paul McCartney movie that is out right now. I'm joined by three very fun guests, and one that is completely decked out in Scream merch. We found him on the streets. We brought him in. We said, you got to show us what you have here. Brooks, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
So good to finally have you on, man. But tell us about this, because
what's
you
going
brought
on?
a lot of gifts.
You said these aren't PJs, right?
They're not. They're sweatpants.
Okay, they're sweatpants.
It's
And a zip-up
athleisure.
hoodie.
Yeah.
It's leisure, man. Come on.
I love it.
And I can't wear these at home because they're zips, and it'd be weird and awkward. And
Right.
So
Well, clearly you're a fan of Halloween. So talk to us about
know.
these things. And how
well,
much...
John Carpenter started a movement. But that's a whole other story. So obviously a fan. I've had this beauty. It used to talk since 1997. Bought it at a Spencer's.
Here, lift that up. Show us real quick. Show me.
It is a giant doll.
That's cool.
And it just sits on a shelf. Yeah.
Whoa.
Has the dust and everything.
Yep.
That's the effects.
Got the dust.
That was CG, guys.
No, it wasn't.
Or AI. Could we all be AI?
And then
Oh my God.
this mask is my wife's because I don't know where mine is. It's in a box.
His and hers Scream masks.
Exactly.
What makes you such a big fan of Scream? What was the inception where you're like, this is my jam and I'm gonna ride this forever?
I loved horror movies as a kid. I knew what I thought was inside and out. And then Kevin Williamson, I was 16 years old, the ripe old age, right? Mm-hmm. Best time for you to see something new.
Yeah.
And it broke my brain. And Ghostface just is everything. And the fact that it's an adult Scooby-Doo just makes it even more fun.
I've never heard it pitched like that.
You never know who
really
the,
is.
well, you're not supposed to know who the killer is.
I feel like that first movie came out at a time when, in the 90s,
Yeah.
horror movies and slashers were
It was
so tropey.
Slashers in general.
And Scream was
even
like,
worse.
wake up.
It
Scream was
like,
the first
come on,
one
we can
to
still do this.
Yeah.
Be self-aware of what it
Yes.
was and really lean into that. And sure,
It was about me.
Yeah.
Other movies went further in. They went, the Scary Movie franchise is obviously a ripoff of Scream, and
Yeah.
it goes on and on. 7 movies. What a legacy. What a 30-year
Supposedly
legacy.
30 years. I just turned 29 in December.
Crazy.
So I keep
We're gonna
having to
round it. We're
correct
gonna round
people
it up a little bit.
because that's what the marketing's doing.
Well, speaking of marketing,
It's 30 years all year.
we actually have something. I brought, this is from The Other Side Donuts. This is
Lovely.
a local Utah donut shop.
It's a perfect
that does-
place considering all of these victims.
Yes, and they do a lot of good work. Rebecca will tell us just a little bit about that, but I just got to show these ghost face donuts. Do you see these?
Wait, do we get to eat these?
Yeah, we're zooming in
finally
a
get
little
to
bit
eat ghost
on
face.
these ones. Yes, we do.
Amazing.
They are incredible. You are able to get these also if you go to The Other Side Donuts. The address is down below. And you can see they have a lot of cool other flavors too, all kinds of stuff. But Rebecca, tell them what they do.
Yeah, so the Other Side Academy in particular is a really great organization aimed at helping people recover from addiction and homelessness. And they do a lot of stuff. One of their avenues is a bakery, The Other Side Donuts. So they have one on Redwood Road, and they're opening up another one on State Street, I want to say. But they do so much more than that. They have thrift shops where a lot of the furniture and equipment that comes in, they repair, and they help educate people so that they have life skills outside of the academy. I've used them for home repairs. I've used them for moving services.
They moved us.
They are incredible, and I love everything that they do.
Oh, cool. They do everything.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
And donuts?
And the donuts.
And the
are- yeah,
donuts.
like that's the great thing. Is like
Yeah.
yes, humanitarian work, but
Yeah.
that's such a
I'm a
big
little
thing to jump
hungry.
between. I cook really good too.
Yeah.
But they
and take care of
always
your
have
heart, home, and belly.
they have a crazy assortment of donuts every day. So
it.
watch your diabetes.
Okay.
But
Not today.
Die of
so
diabetes.
good.
Wow.
They're
So when
so
it comes to the other side, do not ask them what they can't do at this point.
Do
Do
not
not
tell them
ask.
that. Thank you for leaning in on that. Oh, that makes me so happy. Yes, she leaned into a pun.
You get one.
That's rare. We're gonna
Yes, it is.
we're bringing you back
Spider-Man.
from now
Everybody
on.
gets
Gets
one.
one.
Well, make sure that you guys go check out The Other Side Donuts. Those are available for 30 days because of the 30th anniversary of Scream. They're a great partner, and we're so glad we were able to showcase this, and we're going to be eating these after. But for now, let's jump in to Man on the Run. Now, this is a documentary that is out right now on Prime Video. This is from the documentarian that did Roadrunner. He did Won't You Be My Neighbor? Great documentaries. And this one covers Paul McCartney after he is done with the Beatles. The Beatles have broken up, and a legacy is something that he, is it over for him? Can he go and do more things? And what was his mindset during that time? The beginning starts with him in this cabin with his wife and kid, and the director was able to tell me a lot about, he got a lot of photographs, a lot of footage from his wife because she was just covering everything, and I thought it was a great watch. What did you think?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Kent, what did you think?
Yeah, so I watched this one last night. It's on Prime right now, if you want to watch it. And essentially, it's Paul McCartney saying, hey, I'm not the snob of the band, guys. I'm not the one who broke up the Beatles.
I don't think, did anyone ever think that?
No, you can tell he has a lot of
He's always seemed so nice.
But he's been so particular about the music and being on time and all that kind of stuff. And essentially, this documentary says, can you grow up? Can you grow up past the Beatles? And so he just had to evolve as a musician and sometimes devolve and be like, I'm not making music like the Beatles anymore, or now I'm in Wings and we always feel like we're slightly lesser. And it's a really personal look into Paul McCartney. And honestly, there's some sound bites from Sean Lennon, who's John Lennon's son, and they really help. Because it's there's no animosity here. My dad appreciated Paul, Paul appreciated my dad, and it was kind of delightful.
Well, it's strange because we get so many documentaries about the Beatles. You have to find an avenue for it. Brooks, were you able to see this, and what did you think?
I haven't seen it yet, but I guarantee I will because my wife is a big Beatles fan, and my father-in-law is trying to indoctrinate my daughter. So, so we have some history because he loves them, so I'm guaranteed we'll be watching it.
Do you have a favorite Beatle out of the four?
They're not my cup of tea.
Okay.
I mean, I like the Beatles.
Yes.
I appreciate them. I had no idea they sang in Ferris Bueller, but until way later in life. But
the Beatles are fine. I'm more of a Rolling Stones kind of gal. So
Love that. Yeah, I'm a Paul guy.
Yeah, I think
I grew up
for me
on
it's going to
Huey
go Paul
Lewis.
or Ringo.
Yeah.
Ringo was always the fun one.
Ringo's cool.
Okay.
If you want to go to a party, I think you got to go with Ringo.
that,
Ringo's going to set the
we're
tone.
gonna go to a party.
Paul, he's going to be too into, he will start music, but he'll get so hung up on the music that that's all you're going to do that night.
Right.
John will be in the closet writing stuff and talking about, life and things.
And George, who even knows?
George will just be vibing,
George
There
is
in
there.
spirit, Jesus no physically.
Wrote a really lovely ditty about a submarine.
Right. So did you like the time frame that this covered? Because it goes right up until John Lennon's death, essentially.
Oh, interesting.
And did you learn a lot while watching this?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're right. This is very much are you only what your best thing was?
Yes.
And when that's over, where do you find your place? And it's really interesting to see that because I don't think any other group has that level of stardom to be able to face something after it is over.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool to see that side of a Beatle, but also see where he ended up going and how he found creativity still in what he was doing. And I don't know, I'm a softie for anything Beatles.
Yeah.
And this was one that I think people can check out right now on Prime Video. And we also have an interview with the director.
Archival footage, there seems to be so much that you have to go through as a documentarian. And with Paul McCartney, I'm sure there's no limit to how much you've gone and looked through. How much of it was looking for gold or knowing exactly where you wanted to get footage from?
I looked at every bit of footage that was out there. So not only stuff that Paul had, and Paul had married Linda McCartney, who is a photographer. So she was documenting things. And even though they were living on a farm in rural Scotland, they sure shot a lot of film footage, thankfully for me. And she was taking pictures of everything. But then we went to every archive kind of globally to find everything from Japan to find all that footage of, the bust he had in 1980. So there's a lot, but that's the fun part of it, really, finding little nuggets as you go that help make stories come alive. So, I love that part of it. And at the same time, just doing all the interviews, spending a lot of time with Paul talking about this, but also all the members of Wings and everybody from, Mick Jagger to, Chrissy Hine.
And Wings is such an important part of his career, especially in a transformation phase. What was it like working with Paul McCartney on this? And did you find there was any type of like collaborative struggling between what he wanted to use, maybe what couldn't be used, things like that?
No, actually. And I am indebted to him for kind of saying, yeah, let's do it. And then he left me completely alone. He never suggested a song or a person to talk to. I just
Mm.
went and did it. And, I'd regularly come back and talk to him and we'd gather and gather. And then when he watched the film, he was just very emotional, but he said he didn't have no notes, um, which is, incredible, and I think, we talked about it, and he had respected me enough as a filmmaker to kind of understand that even though I'm pretty tough on him at times and definitely explore his failures a fair amount in this film, it's because those are human and you see how Paul's learning. And in a way, I think this is like Paul at his most relatable because you really understand how he's trying to be a parent and a husband and dealing with what the world wants from him versus what he wants. And it's kind of an impossible situation. The wake of the Beatles was something nobody had ever experienced before. It's hard to think of anything analogous to it at that time. So he has to really balance himself. I mean, what he has to do is what he says in the film. He has to grow up. And this is really that story.
All right, once again, that is on Prime Video. But let's jump into something that we talked about a couple weeks ago. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die is one of those movies that have stuck with me since I first watched it. I've watched it a couple times now, and it may be my favorite movie of the year so far.
Oh, really?
We've not seen Project Hail Mary yet, so, fingers crossed on that. But
Did you feel that way the first time you saw it, or is it just grown on you like that?
it was shocking the first time.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't know the tone line,
Yeah.
and especially when it gets to Juno Temple's character being a mother of a recently deceased son who died in a school shooting. Like, how do you make that a dark humor, Black Mirror type of thing?
they do
The
it.
director found a way to do that, though, and make it very interesting. Sam Rockwell's incredible in the whole thing. But Brooks, tell us what you thought about it.
I have a really weird history with watching the movie because I had a screener and it got to me very late before we needed to review it on another show. And so I watched the last half of the movie. I watched the first half on a treadmill, the second half partially on a treadmill, along with getting ready to go and in the shower on an iPad.
What?
Now, between doing D-box and being on a treadmill, what's the real, like...
But even with that behind it, it blew me away, like at every level. And I think that the marketing is probably doing a disservice because people won't have any idea that there's as much story to it as there is.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned with Juno Temple's character and the background on them, and even the two teachers, is it Zazie Beetz and
Michael Pena.
I mean, we could just name their Marvel characters, and I think
Yeah, like
I know.
Stop that.
Haley Richardson.
Justin Hammer goes back in time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of waiting for him to jump into one of his little Ant-Man spills,
Yeah, right.
which would have fit right in with the tone.
Okay,
For most of the movie.
You were telling us that this was one of your favorites when we first were talking about it, and
Yeah.
it took me a week or so to really get what you were saying too. Tell us more.
It's one that I sat there and it ended. I'm like, why did I see that version of the story? And that's kind of a spoiler, but I was like, that seems like a strange way to tell a movie story. But then I was like, I can't wait to watch it again, and I haven't seen it since. And it's still in theaters right now, right?
Yep.
For a couple more weeks, hopefully. And so I'm going to see it before it leaves, or maybe just every year from now on, because it's one that I think I'll just discover more and more things I love.
One of the first things that I said was that I wish I had seen it in a theater from start to finish, because holy cow, that thing is a ride.
Yeah.
It is a roller coaster.
I bring up the movie in conversation. Anytime there's a conversation that comes up surrounding a dislike of AI, I go, oh, have I got the movie for you?
Sure.
And the cool thing about this movie is because of the word of mouth, every week I see Briarcliff Entertainment say, hey, we're expanding to a couple more theaters for another weekend.
Nice.
So I love to see its growth just through word of mouth.
Right. It has been growing a lot. I've been seeing a lot of high marks on Rotten Tomatoes. Everybody's loving this thing. But do we think when it goes to digital, that's where it's really going to find its footing for people.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Like most
Kind of
things,
ironic.
right?
Like a midnight
Yeah.
movie sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. It's a new cult classic in the making.
We're like the little cheerleading squad for this
Yeah.
We
movie.
really are.
Yeah.
This is one I would break out pom poms for.
Yeah.
Especially with independent films, you got to be you have to be their cheerleader and their advocate for it. So definitely go and check out that. We actually got to talk with Juno Temple about her character. I know, I'm embarrassment of riches for this episode.
Just talk to this person. It's
Yeah.
fine.
That person.
Bit of a warning. Maybe we cry a little bit towards the end, but we're gonna have you guys take a look.
How you doing?
Good. It's always a little shocking when you jump into the Zoom window and right there,
Right
we have
there.
like one of my favorite actors ever.
Oh, stop it. Thank you.
Are you kidding me? I was a fan of you during The Dark Knight Rises. Like
Oh.
I know the career, and you have been incredible. I've got a Believe sticker right behind me.
You do?
On my wall. Yep. I can't flip the camera around, but it's there.
No.
And this
I'll
movie.
believe you. There you
Yeah.
go. Oop, oop, oop. Yeah.
Oh my God. So great to talk to you, especially about this. Gore Verbinski directed a crazy fun movie that I think has as much nuance as it has humor. And I want to ask you, because how was it when you were first reading it, specifically when it goes to your character's story? Were you seeing like the dark humor in it? Was it just shocking at first?
I think that it was what I'm not sure I would call it humor initially. There was definitely a kind of profound shock of how it played out in Susan's sort of past vignette, and how the mothers around her played out with her, that I was fascinated by, because I do think that there is too much normalcy around that kind of tragedy that happens in the world. And I think pushing it to the degree that they did in this film, and the bravery of doing that, because I know it was something that was a tough sell, which is why it was important, to be honest, is that it's about keeping a conversation alive and being able to talk about things like that. Because I think most trauma in life becomes more and more, I think becomes even more physical and more of a detriment to somebody being able to live their life if you don't talk about things. And so I think being able to explore the themes in this film that were really profoundly important because of the difficulty behind them and the difficult emotions behind them, made it even more exciting for me. And I think that reading the script as a whole, the roller coaster ride that happened throughout the story from beginning to end was extraordinary, but also from page to page was extraordinary. And actually the fact that the movie sort of ended with this very realistic sort of failure, but with hope that this mission doesn't succeed this time, but the man from the future isn't going to give up. So there is hope that it will. And I thought that was a really brilliant way to this wild genre journey of like bonkers, but then at the same time, really important conversations to then end in this very honest human way was so really packed a punch for me.
Right.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Were you told like the answer to the ending? Because to me, it felt a little bit more ambiguous as to what is actually real and what's not. Nothing from the director.
I know that the man from the future is going to try again. I know that for sure.
The title, "Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die," almost
Genius.
has a double entendre, and I think the characters each have their own interpretation of what that means for them. How did you see your character understanding that by the end of the film?
Well, I think my character, that she's not gonna not go. She's not gonna not jump. She's not gonna not open that door. She's not gonna, because there is the love for her son that is going to get her through every given moment. She's not going to not try because of this profound love that she has for him. So I think the "Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die" is almost a kind of throwaway for her, because she doesn't need the luck. She's not necessarily going to have fun. Maybe she will, but she's not going to die unless, she's not going to think about that. She's just going to keep going because she has a person that she needs to get to at the end of the mission. At the end of the end goal for her is to hold her son again. And I think that drive in itself just means that Susan isn't gonna stop.
Yeah, I love that. No, it's determination for Susan.
Truly, but from a love for a child, which is an extraordinary kind of journey to get to explore, because I'm not a mum, and I, you know, it's a powerful thing to learn about the love of a mother, you know.
Yeah.
Really
Well, and
is.
you're exploring grief in a way that I don't think any of the other characters get that opportunity to. I'll wrap it up just by saying thank you, because my father passed away this past month, about a month ago.
Sorry.
And thank you. I was with my mom down where she lives, and we were trying to watch something. We couldn't find anything. I was like, can I show you this? This is a weird story. Bear with me. I think you're gonna love it. It was the first thing that she got to watch that she felt genuine distracted with, and really loved the movie. So what you do is so important, and I just appreciate it so much.
That's completely thrown me. Wow. Well,
Sorry.
I send your mum so much love, because I know that as a mother, she understands love in a way that I don't yet. And I think that's an extraordinary thing. And I'm really grateful to hear that you guys got to experience that together. I think, yeah, staying present for our parents and allowing our parents to be a part of our lives as much as possible is such an important thing. I really believe that. So I'm honored that I got to be a part of that hang. I mean that.
Really, thank you so much. And we'll be sad for Ted Lasso season 4. Believe me, that will be amazing.
Yes. Oh man, send your mum all my love, will you? That's really magic. Thank you.
Will do. Thank you, Juno.
All right, make sure you guys check that out in theaters and later when it goes on digital. But it's time to start screaming. That's the whole reason that we've got all of this. And
Why they got me here.
we're not ghosting them. We're here to face up to the truth.
You already used your one.
30 years of Ghostface killings.
Got it out of the way.
Yeah, Sydney. Let's talk about this movie, though, the first movie that came out, and then we'll work our way up to 7.
Oh,
because
okay.
that's going to be the one that I think we're all going to have.
Basically, we're going to teach
thoughts.
you, Rebecca.
I've seen the first 3.
Okay.
So
It's a
here's
learning
the
curve
deal
for
with the
you.
first one. I only saw it for the first time like 3 years ago.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I knew its place in the zeitgeist. And I was watching it with a friend who loves it. And immediately, what's his name comes on screen, and I go, oh, he's the killer. And she goes, how did you know? And I'm like, well, first scene in the phone call, guy's really annoying about movies. This guy shows up on my screen, and he's super annoying about movies. Who could it possibly be? But I was surprised that it was, spoiler alert, 2 killers. That was fun.
We have got to spoil this. If there's 7 movies, you're going to eventually have
If
to.
they're going to call it a 30-year,
plot.
then we kind of have to.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, you're saying that it was pretty easy to tell.
For me, I watch a lot of horror movies. I know tropes, and I know its
so far
existence within the
removed
zeitgeist,
from when it
right?
came out.
Right.
Yeah.
Brooks, do you think that is the key, though? So much time has passed, 30 years from an iconic staple with things that everyone is trying to imitate. Do you think a part of that psychologically gets into our brain so that it is more easy to identify a killer because we've seen some of this done so many times?
I think it can. In the case of the new movie, which we'll talk about soon, it definitely made it super easy to figure out who was doing that
Oh
one.
no.
And there's also like the suspicious red herrings they throw out, but
Yeah.
also every movie mostly has its own theme. Whether it's a
Yes.
sequel or a legacy sequel or a
just
trilogy
that it's a sequel.
or about a character, that's where the killer's motive tends to be. I try never to guess.
I kind of have
You
given
have
up
to.
too, because
Yeah.
otherwise
It's like Knives Out.
you can't
Yeah.
really enjoy it if you're just sitting there.
You're like, I know it's them, and I'm like, stop it, stop it. Don't be too smart. Just sit
That's
there with
what I did
popcorn.
too.
Do you
know?
think there's multiple ways to view Scream? Like there's the analytical side where it's like, I love seeing them break the fourth wall or get, real into the tropes of what horror filmmaking is of the time that the
Yeah.
film comes out. But some people just want to see some real good slasher kills.
And there are some good kills.
Yeah.
It's
The
got
first
both.
kill in Scream 1 with Drew Barrymore sent shockwaves.
Such a good,
Everywhere.
such a
Especially
good
because
movie.
no one knew it was
Yeah.
coming.
Everyone thought she was the lead.
She was the head of
Drew
the
Barrymore
marketing.
was going to be in the
She's on the
entire thing.
poster.
And then killing her off in the first scene.
Amazing.
Wes
Yeah.
Craven.
Your mind.
Yep.
Evan Williamson wrote it.
He wrote a lot of things.
Well,
That's what
I'm
we
just
found
saying,
out.
he's who killed the opening character. But yes, Wes Craven, to give him credit, obviously cast because they did swap. Originally, she was supposed to play Sydney.
Really?
Oh, wild.
She was going to play Sydney, and then she just said, I want to play her instead. I want to play Casey. And they were like, okay. So then they had to find a new Sydney.
And they found that in.
Yes, in my daughter. No.
So, as a giant fan, if they had stopped with Scream, that's it.
The first one?
Right? And say, here's a horror masterpiece for you. Would you have been just as big a fan?
Well, yeah, because I was already. I ran out and bought masks and toys.
Because I'm very curious to see if you feel like it's been watered down throughout the years or if it's still kind of held that legacy up.
I feel like it's been able to keep itself relevant
Okay.
because of it tackling different subjects, like whether it's sequels, threequels, requels, fans, nostalgia,
They
all
even
of that.
coined the terms themselves in the movies.
That's right. Meta, mostly, I mean, it was before, because there was like Wes Craven's New Nightmare is even a very meta movie.
Yeah.
But no one really had the term until the Scream series.
Right.
So, or at least didn't use it very often.
I'm going to say something that'll make you mad. You ready?
Yes.
I saw Scary Movie before I saw Scream.
Wow.
So you knew everything that was going to happen.
I knew everything,
Because it's
and I
kind of
didn't.
shot for shot.
I didn't know what Scream was really. I just knew that Ghostface, but I thought it was just a regular slasher. I go and watch Scream. I go, oh, it's smart, scary movie. It's them actually writing and
Yeah.
not just like joke after joke after fart joke after
Not just a
whatever.
spoof joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's regarded as the best, right? Is that pretty much universally accepted here?
It will always be the best.
Of the three I've seen, I think it's the best one.
Yeah.
But I also, that's me just across the board. I like the first variations of things. So the first Scream is going to be my favorite.
Well, let's jump into number 2. Is there anything else we want to cover for the first movie before we jump in?
It's great. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
They're going to keep
Classic.
retreading it. We're going to keep going back to that house no matter what.
It's crazy to me that a year after that first movie came out, you get Scream 2, which normally if you see something like that, you're like, cash in. Like,
no way
absolute
it'll be
cash
as
in.
good.
Exactly. And guess what? It's incredible,
And a cash in.
in my opinion.
It's the best.
It's wild. The second one is wild.
I'll just
Yeah.
say right now, it's the best of the sequels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It does what it set out to do. It
Has
makes fun of
Timothy
itself. I felt at the time it was probably scarier than the first one.
There's a scene where there's 2 leads in a police car.
Oh.
And it's crashed, and there's Ghostface sitting in the driver's side, and he's
passed
knocked out. And they have to crawl over him, and it's the scene of absolute tension. And almost
And it
nothing
just never
happens, but
stops.
it's great.
I mean, what's scarier than having to crawl
Anticipation,
over?
right?
Yeah.
Potential killer.
The killer is sitting in the front seat, because of the mask, you have no idea whether they're even awake or actually knocked out.
Right.
But
Well,
you have
either
to
way,
make
you
your
got to
way.
do the double kill.
Yeah.
That's the rules of Scream
Double
are
tap,
very
yeah.
fun. Yeah, you always got to shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
Everyone's a suspect, and it's usually the boyfriend. It's the first thing, and it's usually
Sure.
someone that's familiar to you. What were the other tropes that they were having in it?
They're probably wearing blue plaid.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Never say I'll
that
be
like
right
that-
back.
That's what I love about Jamie Kennedy in the first movie is he is like, here's all the things you need to be looking for, and he knows.
And then they fall for it anyway.
Yep.
Because it's real life, and you kind
Yeah.
of can't get away from it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Courtney Cox with her investigative reporting and the love relationships that she has with Dewey. The
Freaking Dewey.
the
The best.
the heart of gold, but
the heart of the
simple-brained
movie.
man.
Simple man.
Smooth-brained heart of gold.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Barney Fife-ish presence.
But it's the couple that shouldn't be, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And she's so far out of his league.
On and off screen.
Yeah, truly. But it's something that you love to see in the series.
Well, and her character, Gail, is really detestable in
Yeah.
the first movie. She's trying to exploit this murder.
She's the TMZ of.
Really,
Yeah.
yeah. And so you're totally on Dewey's side and Sydney's of like, she just needs to get out of here. This is crazy.
Let the simple cop do it.
Yeah.
And I like that she keeps that consistent tone of like, yeah, we're friends, but if it's a good story, I will throw you under the bus to make
Yeah.
it happen. Their character and their dynamic, their chemistry is so good. I think that's what makes these movies so enduring and why they keep bringing them back because these are 3 characters that just worked so well together. The sequel, they continue to do that, but you were mentioning Timothy Olyphant. Who are the other new players that you were a fan of?
Oh, I just remember Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, I mean,
Who can't see beyond him?
What was the big
Makes
thing
it
about the
pretty hard.
sequel that was like, okay, now you're in the sequel. And they start laying out what sequels
So
end up
everything
doing.
has to be bigger. Everything has to be better. There has
Bigger
to be more
carnage
kills.
candy.
And also, it was a time where, you know, here in the States, we were dealing with a lot of violence. And it's like, have the movies created monsters? And so it goes
Yeah.
into that commentary as well.
Yeah, to feed off of the first one.
Yeah.
Movies don't create psychos; they make them more creative.
And like obsessives, right?
And it also shows you the introduction of the Stab series, right? So the
Yes.
movie was-
Yeah.
Yeah, where it finally kicks into true metagear.
Yes.
Real meta. And trivia, who plays Sydney in the movie?
Tori Spelling.
That's right.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm glad you guys got that one.
Yeah.
Very fun movie. The third one, we got Carrie Fisher. And they go straight Star Wars for us, which I thought was fantastic. Was it the strongest of the three? No.
No.
So the three, I
there were
could not remember, and leading up to this episode, I couldn't remember if I'd seen the third one. I checked my letterbox and I was like, oh, I gave it half a star.
Oh, wow.
I remember literally
Brutal.
nothing from
cow.
it. Yeah.
Half a star and you don't remember why?
No.
It was probably the Jay and Silent Bob
There's,
cameo.
yeah, there's a lot of comedy in this one.
Was it Courtney Cox's bangs?
Oh, the bangs are awful.
The baby bangs?
Iconically awful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
I
to
mean,
the
so
point
bad
where
that she does
they will
it.
still bring him out during interviews. You remember this?
What a choice.
But this one goes behind the movie sets and behind
Yeah,
who
moves it
producers
to
and
Hollywood.
directors are, right? And you see the cast of these Stab movies and all that. It is almost straightforward comedy. That said, there's still some very good kills. Like the intro kill,
yeah.
to me, was actually kind of heartbreaking,
Yes. Poor Cotton.
right? We're just spoiling. That's where we're
I
at,
mean,
right?
You got to.
Yeah.
Anybody that's still watching are probably just Scream fans
Yeah.
or Grandma or Uncle Gary or anyone else.
Just happy for us.
But
they're
this
just
is one where I think it fell apart in the end. And sometimes Scream movies do that where you're like, you see the
What
reveal.
even happened? I don't
Well, honestly, the reveal is, hey, this has been a grand or a conspiracy rather than just two teen boys,
Sure.
right?
Should we just say who it is? and
Yeah,
why?
go
It's-
right ahead. Please explain.
It's Sydney's half brother, because as we know from the
Right.
first movie,
Star Wars right there.
The plot of this
Exactly.
movie is bonkers.
Yep.
Yeah.
'cause her mom was
Out there.
Yeah, she had a reputation
Yeah.
at parties and had a child out of wedlock that was before she met Sydney's dad, and then now he decided he wants his turn in the
Yeah,
spotlight.
and he's been waiting this whole time constructing
plays
this grand
him?
Scott Foley.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember nothing
Yeah, that's except for the tiny bangs.
except for the tiny bangs.
The significant thing with 3, it's the first time that it's written by someone else.
Yes.
Well,
Is it not?
partially.
Okay.
I
Well,
thought 2 was written.
Kevin Williamson, I guess, wrote an original draft, and then, of course, the Yucky Weinsteins decided to bring in Aaron Kruger to
okay.
ruin it. So
Interesting. I wish we could have got the original cut.
it went back. I guess they were, from what I remember, they were supposed to be filming the movie in Woodsboro, and that's how Sydney would be involved.
Okay.
But instead, they put it on the movie lot and had to find ways to draw her out of her hiding and fill it with way too many jokes and fake blood and did way less violence, which some people might enjoy more.
Yeah.
Because it does have its
Trying
fair
to, like,
share.
are they trying to like appease to a larger audience?
I think so. It had a.
They're
it
trying
has
to
a
wrap
huge
it up because
fair
they
share
didn't
of
know that there'd be
champions.
more than a
Yeah.
trilogy.
Yeah,
It was
because
supposed. They
so-
wanted it to be a trilogy.
Yeah, what's the time between the third one and the fourth one?
About. Was it 10, 11 years?
Yeah, it was 11 years.
10 to 11 years?
Yeah.
Quite a while.
Because it was
and enough
new
to,
decade, new rules.
Yeah, and they can actually go into like, here's what these movies are nowadays
Yep.
Yeah.
versus what they were when we first started. And they did that again with 5, but 3 is definitely a we're not planning on doing anymore. We're closing this out. Carrie Fisher's here.
There were happy
Luke,
endings.
I'm your father.
galore.
Sydney, I'm your half brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of gets Lord of the Rings ending at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
You're like,
does.
'Cause there's
this
like
gets a
8
happy
endings.
ending. This gets a happy ending.
Yep. So not the favorite.
So
Any
and
of us.
I
would
mean,
we-
I like it because it's Scream.
Yeah, but you
It's-
like.
I'm
you see why-
very biased.
Can you see why it killed the series for a
Oh,
minute?
oh,
Or
yeah.
do you think the 2000s kind of like gore genre of horror kind of took over and people didn't want to see slasher stuff as much anymore?
I think that it was probably a little bit of both.
Okay.
I think that because of the diminishing return of the third one, the rise of the torture porn with Saw and all of those
Yeah.
movies and Hostel.
Yeah.
That was the new thing, and then Scream came back and put them in their place again.
Well, so much of it, I think, also was if Wes isn't doing it, I'm not doing it.
That too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
assuming that Wes Craven was
and
kind
Nev
of done.
Campbell. Neve Campbell said she wouldn't do it unless Wes did it.
So then who's in 4? Because when I was asking you guys about, you guys last night were telling me I should watch 5 and 6, and nobody had anything to say about 4.
Because 4 is the reboot.
It's
So who's in
basically,
it?
it's kind of like a
So,
remake of
Hayden
the first
Panettiere.
one.
Yeah, Hayden Panettiere, Emma Roberts,
Okay.
Neve Campbell's back, Courtney Cox, obviously, David Arquette, and I'm trying to think who else. One of the Culkins is there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I think it's Kieran.
Kieran,
Is it
yes.
Kieran?
And so it's a younger cast. Honestly, this movie was so ahead of its time. as
It
far as
is.
influencer
If you
culture
watch it
goes.
now,
What
Yes,
year?
In 2011.
2011.
Okay.
And it's just people with video cameras saying, I'm vlogging all of this.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to catch all the crazy stuff that's about to happen to Sydney.
She's like, I need fans.
Yeah.
Was
And
part of the motive.
this movie, I don't think anyone had any expectations because the third one was mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out and took me by storm.
I went.
So who
I-
directed
Opening
this
weekend.
one?
It was Wes Craven.
Was Wes Craven?
It's his
Yeah.
last movie.
Okay.
Yep, and the writer returned too.
Oh.
Partially.
Man, what's with
Dang.
IMDb not giving me the real truth here?
Well, because it was the same thing. Kevin Williamson got brought in. He wrote a script. They had a shooting script. They were ready to go. They were filming. And again, the Weinsteins decided they wanted shoots and didn't think, they just wanted it changed to what they wanted it to be. And so they brought back, again, Aaron Kruger, who has the perfect name, but, but not the skills.
Okay.
For people that don't know, what else has he written?
Well, what's funny is he wrote one of my, I loved it when it came out. Do you remember Arlington Road? He wrote that.
Yeah.
And I love that movie. That screenplay is phenomenal. So and he's also written, well, he did write The Ring remake.
Okay.
And which again
Yeah.
is
Put
so
the remake
good.
man into the remake movie.
So I guess maybe if he's doing serious subject matters, he's good, but doesn't know how to land a joke.
Scream is not serious?
And that's the problem. It's getting too serious now, where they're forgetting where
Its
they come
roots?
from.
For some
Yeah.
people,
I would say watch 4. Considering you stopped at 3,
especially now.
watch 4, stop there.
You
Like,
could.
it's a good natural conclusion for a Sydney story, for what murders do to people and influencers and all that. Like, I think it's a good natural conclusion.
Is it, because it's kind of a precursor, 2011, that shows up right before like a true crime boom.
True.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Okay.
It was even ahead of that.
Yeah.
So you thought we weren't going to tell you it's great, but it's pretty good.
You guys
Yeah,
are
like,
selling me
it's
on
my
it.
third favorite. The 1, 2, 4.
So
I'd
good.
agree with that. I'd
Yeah.
probably I might even go 1, 4, 2.
It's the most.
Okay.
It's the most underrated.
Yes.
Of the screams.
But it's so
Some
much
people
its own
try to
thing.
pretend it doesn't exist, and they're
Crazy.
completely wrong.
Yeah.
But
know what's
five
wrong
and
with 'em.
5 and 6, no
Okay.
good?
New universe almost. Are we
Yeah.
jumping right to 5 and
Basically.
6?
Before we jump, Emma
Yeah.
Roberts is fantastic. In it.
I love Emma Roberts.
She's the
Because
best.
they
in the
crazy.
whole
killer
thing.
performance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really,
Oh, so
really good.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I do not care about spoilers.
I was just being punny, but
Well, let's jump into 5 because now we've got big new star power with Jenna Ortega. It's like one of her first big blockbuster films that she's in. She kind of seals herself as the new Scream queen
And
for
she's
this
really good in
generation.
it.
It's probably what got her Wednesday also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Melissa Barrera it plays, and this is where we will get into spoilers, because honestly, they don't follow it in 7. Billy Loomis had a daughter, apparently, and that is Melissa Barrera's character.
right.
No.
With who?
He was a sophomore or something.
Melissa Barrera's mom.
He didn't know they were also in a ghost face mask.
Hear me out. Hear me out. This is
It's
where
Sam
we get,
Carpenter.
this is where we get more into the psychological horror here.
Okay.
No, it never
They-
really delves far enough, right? That's why we needed another movie, because his daughter sees visions of him from that movie telling her to do things, essentially.
De-aged and
Yeah.
everything.
It's,
De-aged?
Yeah, he looks like he does in the first one.
it's not bad.
With the
as far as
bloody
age-
shirt and
But-
everything,
but
which
the-
I'm sure she's only seen pictures of.
Yeah. But the story idea itself, you're like, so you're going to be a killer, maybe, unless you overcome? Okay.
I guess you're trying to fight your urges.
Yeah.
Like, is the murder gene genetic?
Apparently
That's
it can
the
be.
question they have. But
Jeez
while they're doing that, they're essentially just completely doing the first movie over again. They're doing
Like they did
shot-for-shot
before.
moments with it.
What year is 5 come out?
Was
5 came out in
6 years ago?
16, maybe? No.
That's a
I was just
question.
talking
So, like,
about this
5
last
years
night and I can't
after.
remember.
Sometime around, I think it
Wait,
was
it's
18.
late teens.
3 years since 6, and that was the year before.
Don't worry, we're gonna get.
Didn't you just
comment
talk to me about math out in the?
I think it's 2021 or 2022.
It was
Maybe.
2.
Okay.
It would be two.
For 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they waited a while.
So it'd
to
be
make this one.
2022, 2023, and then now
Oh,
2026.
things weren't
Right.
bad enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
far
they
as
find a way. Oh, go ahead.
The meta quality of this
Yes.
one. What are they doing with this? They're talking about legacy sequels. They're talking about here's-
Requels.
and it's definitely another Star Wars nod to me because they're
Yeah.
trying to Force Awakens. They're forcing this by Force Awakening and bringing in new characters that we kind of like. Kind of
Somehow
legacy
Billy Loomis
characters.
returned.
The sibling
Right.
dynamic between these two, though, I think is really strong. And that was what made me go, you know what? It's not necessarily, I look for these to find the meaning behind why they're doing horror in this way and what's changed in real horror versus this. But
Yeah.
I really liked the relationship between these two sisters and trying. Who else is in this? It's the boys.
Yeah.
The guy from the boys.
So Jack
Jack
Quaid.
Quaid.
Jack Quaid is in it
I know he was
And
there.
also Honora, Mikey Madison. is in this
Oh,
one.
yeah.
So I do know about this movie that
Okay.
they had a bunch of different endings featuring a
Yeah.
bunch of different people being the killer.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
nobody knew.
Because it
who the
could
right
have
one
really
was.
gone
I think only the
anywhere.
killers knew,
Yeah.
from what I
Yeah.
remember.
But that's all. That's
So
and
this
they had
is,
to film it during COVID, which I'm sure
Yeah.
Oh,
presented some
yeah.
problems.
this is more meta commentary on fan expectations.
Okay.
Which we've seen for the past 5 years, like very vocal, and with
It
the
went full
killers,
Snyder Bros at the end, and it was hilarious.
It was just like it was all about the stab movies
Oh, yeah.
and how those movies have changed and disappointment and stuff like that, and creating something new.
You ruined my childhood. That's kind of what the killer
Yeah,
is.
they go off on he goes off on a rant about how they hold something so dear to themselves and they get made fun of it and
and
It's
who,
really
dragged through the
sad.
mud.
It's a
And
very
I'm like,
sad-
leave me
sad
out of this.
who's writer director on this one?
The Ready or Not team.
Oh,
Radio
okay.
Silence.
oh, I like
We'll
them.
just refer to them as
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah. Ready or Not is really good.
Yeah.
They also do the trope of taking a legacy character and killing them off.
Yeah.
Yes.
With that, it's
Han
Dewey.
Soloed.
Yep, Dewey gets Han Solo.
Oh
in it.
darn.
And honestly, it killed all my hope for the series.
That's what.
When
did
they
it.
killed Dewey?
Yeah, I love Dewey. Love him.
You want to hear another spoiler?
Yeah.
Kevin Williamson was going to kill him anyway.
Well, his arc was over. Like where else
What
could?
more
Yep.
could he do?
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is, you watch these movies, you're like, oh, the 3 principal actors, they gotta die sometime.
We'd have to get
right?
into huge spoilers to talk about what
Does
Kevin
Nev
Williamson
Campbell
was
show up
going
in
to
this
do.
one?
Yes.
At some point,
At
some
the
point,
end.
we gotta
Very-
recognize
very
Sydney's the
lightly.
problem.
She comes to the end of the movie.
Yeah, they backed up a
The whole
big chunk of
thing,
money.
the
and
whole
she-
point of the movie is honestly to lure her to Woodsboro.
because they want to recreate the ending.
Exactly.
Like at
wanna
some
recreate
point,
the whole ending.
Sydney's the problem, right?
She's not.
She's
the
trying to get
problem.
out of this.
How is she the problem?
She is.
Her mom's the problem.
Everywhere.
It's her mom.
I mean, Billy Loomis is definitely the main problem in this one, right?
yeah.
But his obsession with Sydney, she's the
My problem with
It's me.
How is she supposed to help?
I'm the
that?
problem.
yeah, my problem with this movie and then the next, which we'll get into, is when there's stabbing scenes. Nobody dies anymore.
Yeah.
There are
people don't die anymore.
If you're a main character.
plot armor.
Kill 'em already.
Is a part of this. Yeah, they do talk about plot armor. They're like, you're gonna be fine.
The
They'll just
killers
point at a
die.
character, be like, you're
Yes.
good, no worries.
The killers die, but usually if it's someone of any kind of significance, as far as maybe like brand name for themselves,
They'll be brutally maimed, but survive.
Cool.
Mason Gooding, that man. Ooh,
You know what? There are
do
some
like- is
really
he in
fun.
that?
he can take some
I
knives.
like Mason Gooding.
He can take some kniving. You want to talk Knives Out?
Yeah.
He should be the star of that because he's always pulling them.
So who then returns for Scream 6?
Scream 6 is where it goes full Jason in Manhattan.
And they head to New York
Go to New York.
because they're in
no.
college now.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. So this one is
Well,
like
the Carpenter sisters in college,
they wouldn't pay Nev Campbell enough to be in this movie, but
So
they got-
she's not in this one?
Not in this one.
No.
But
Not
they
at
got
all.
Courtney Cox.
which was for her best interest.
It really
Yeah.
was. And
Why?
honestly, for this,
Well, as far as the money goes,
For
they
this-
offered her a lousy amount.
yeah.
And I completely side with her on not getting it.
But for the story, they wanted to focus more on the 2 sisters again, right?
Who are?
Which fine.
It is Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera.
Yep.
Still from that last.
Car-
Continuing
Carpenter
on to the Billy
sisters.
Loomis
Because
stuff and how they're
more
dealing with
Billy flashbacks.
You
Wait, so
can-
Jenna Ortega's a Billy Loomis
Visions.
child?
No.
No.
They're half siblings.
it. Half siblings.
Yes. Thank you.
Again.
The Lord.
Hey, again. I
Again.
didn't even think about that.
So, but this one, you could tell it's the middle part of what's meant to be a trilogy for these 2 sisters.
Yes, and that's going to be the thing. I'm talking about
Although-
with 7.
At the end of the movie, considering they did not follow it up, I feel like it honestly closes perfectly.
It does. And honestly, any of these movies could. You could
Yeah,
watch it
they
and be like,
all
"That's where it
end on,
ends."
they're all kind of self-contained,
Yeah.
aside from referencing each other. But usually by the end of the movie, they're all pretty.
And so, what's the killer's motivation in this one?
So it's Scream
lot of
2 again.
questions.
It's
Scream 2
Yeah.
you
It's a
killed
very-
a member of my family.
Yeah, it's a very familiar thing from
Another
the last one, and it
revenge.
ties in from the last one too.
Now, what works for this one for me is the intro kill is
Yes. It's
great.
great.
Yes.
Samara Weaving is in the intro scene.
love.
And you're
For
like,
10 minutes.
you're like, wait, is this movie going somewhere new? It doesn't.
But it does.
It does for 10 minutes.
It does, but it
It does
doesn't.
for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you think it's going to be a cult of Ghostface almost. But then it kind of goes a little more traditional for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Just a single dude.
It sounds like it was
There's
going
more.
to be cultish.
My favorite
Yeah.
part of this is when Ghostface almost ran into a taxi. He went, "I'm screaming here,
I'm stabbing here.
I'm screaming here, stabbing." But it also goes into the fanboy part of it. Like there's a lot of merch that they have, a lot of like artifacts from things that had happened back in the time.
Have
that,
a shrine.
Yeah, but the big crux is Melissa Barrera's character. Are you going to now be a murderer? That's where
Her character keeps getting darker.
darker and darker, and she wants to do some pretty horrifying Ghostface kills too, and she does in the end.
Yeah.
So you're almost a little okay. She may be the villain in the next one.
So
Very interesting.
We're getting pretty late into the series. What are your thoughts on the movies so far? 5 and 6. Where are you at?
I really liked 5. It
Okay.
was a great reboot.
I agree.
It was great for when it came out.
You didn't care for Ghostface Takes Manhattan.
I
ready
did when
for
I
Ghostface's
saw it,
face.
but I think it was
Like Fast
just
and
because it was a Scream movie and how obsessed I am. It was a new car smell.
Yeah.
And I own it even in 3D.
Okay.
Because it was released in 3D, so I imported it because I have a 3D TV.
Yeah.
So I have I have it on every format, even
Right.
3D. And I just, as far as Scream goes, like the shrine is great. That was awesome. Bringing back Kirby from 4 was a good nod.
Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, she's awesome.
It's the only time they reference 4
Yeah.
at all. Is bringing back
Honestly,
Hayden
yeah.
Panettiere. Yep.
They just bring
Which
her back.
stinks because it was a great movie and it could have
Agreed.
been a really good way to put in. But it's clear that she was the one that took the paycheck that Neve Campbell did not take.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And that's why she was in it. But also, very strong. I think 5 and 6 are really, really good. Like I think they had the potential to make this a stronger trilogy than 1, 2, and 3 with where they were going.
No.
But
They were going
because
the wrong way,
of
and it would have been
7,
the worst ever.
and when they went to 7,
What would have been the worst?
Can I say what
Say
they
the
were going to
things.
do with
Oh,
her?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, with these 3, they were going to turn Melissa Barrera into Ghostface. That's not Scream. I'm sorry.
neither was this.
Well, and then
I'm
she-
just saying.
Well,
Neither
then
was 7.
She
Either way.
expressed an opinion,
Yeah.
and she didn't get to come back.
Regardless, I don't have any thoughts on that.
Let's jump into
way.
7.
Okay, yeah, I'm dying to hear
it's
about
time to
7.
go.
7 is the mad scramble, right?
It
They
is.
had a concept
there's
It's
of
the
a movie.
oopsie.
Who's the writer-director here?
It was the Guy Busick and James Vanderbilt who wrote 5 and 6.
Okay.
And then it looks like they gave Guy Busick co-writing credit for this because he probably left some
But
ideas
it's
with
directed
Kevin
by
Williamson.
Kevin Williamson.
It's directed by, and apparently it sounds like they gave him like $500,000 to rewrite it.
Whoa.
Yep. And so immediately you can tell
better
this
and worse,
movie,
even I will
there's
say.
2 competing scripts fighting each other
Yep.
throughout the whole thing, and I don't know which one is winning.
It feels
think
like when
I
you're,
can tell.
you're at work and you get a project and they say you have a week, but like.
But they
it's a
give you
lot of
everyone
work.
else's stuff.
Yeah,
Say,
and
do something with
they
this.
say make this good because we have a release date, and they wrote a script in a week, and that's what we got.
Which is interesting because he wrote the first movie in like 3 nights.
Wow.
And we got that one. And then now we get this.
Which you're gonna get a watered down movie by the 7th movie. It's inevitable, right?
I mean, come
I
on.
mean, Fast and Furious 7 was still really.
Fast and
firing on
Furious
all
doesn't really
They're
get
just-
good until
that's
5.
It-
So
like you never know with these, but I think this one is the weakest, mostly because it lost its identity. It lost what it wanted to do, and it took itself way too serious.
but Neve Campbell comes back.
Yeah.
It's the first time a Scream movie has felt more like a stab movie, and that's the problem. Is that it's now the joke. It's
So-
not in on it.
She has multiple children now. We knew she had a kid before. I don't know if this is retconned or if there was an established family.
She mentions kids in 5 when she's on
Okay.
the phone.
Married to Joel
So-
McHale, who is a cop.
Joel McHale, who was sleepwalking through this role.
It feels
I was
feels
like,
funny
man,
with him
this
in it.
I
Yeah,
don't know if
right?
this is a
Weird.
great sign or a really bad sign that Joel McHale's in this.
It should have been good because you think Joel McHale in a Scream movie.
But
that'd be
he
perfect.
always, but he plays a type.
should
There was
be.
a type that he
Yes,
plays in every
which
single movie
he doesn't
he's in.
get
This
to
is him.
play.
I'll go check it out.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
I'll
much,
go check
that's
it out.
all he does. Yep, and
Oh, it's like
does
he's
really
He's the
still-
serious
Yeah.
Joel McHale.
He was attacked already and stabbed multiple times, and he's still gonna go into places alone with like pinned up like shower curtains to like draw out the killer.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
The big thing with this, and we can't really spoil too much with this one, so we gotta wind it
just
back a little. But I will say,
open today.
it delves into AI, and it's talking about deepfakes and
No
how much
way.
we hate
100%.
deepfakes. And there's a chance that one of the original killers might still be
We
alive.
can talk about who it might be.
And we see videos
they think it's
of it.
Stu.
They think it's Stu.
So Stu, who got a TV
Yeah,
smash on his face,
yeah.
they're like, did you know his body was never found?
Because there's two camps. There's
And
the
it's been
Stu
30
stands
years, by
and the
the way.
Stu deniers.
I'm gonna throw myself.
Is
off
Stu
a
true?
Is Stu dead or not is the biggest question.
Because
of the
Matthew
movie.
Lillard is the guy, right? We all love Matthew Lillard.
Some of us.
I mean,
Quentin's
Oh,
the
I
big-
was like,
I was gonna say, Patrick, take it easy.
I'm a big
Jeez
fan
Louise.
of him.
Stu's
but
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah. But so they bring him back, but it's, and this
It's
may or may
on
not
the
be
phone.
the
Is it or
it's,
isn't
It's
him?
on FaceTime. That's where he's back.
Yeah.
And
So it
always
may
on
or may not
video.
be.
The intention is to
Because there's a
say-
filter.
Maybe.
Well, no. Well, that's what
We
bugs
don't
me
know.
so much. So they want to play this AI game because they don't like AI. You could clearly tell that's what they're trying to write, but they're not using AI to show him. Like they're just showing the actor.
Matthew Lillard
Yeah, Matthew
doing
Lillard.
scenes.
And
Same
that was
mannerisms.
what bugged me. It felt so lazy to go and let's make this not AI when you could have made a horrifying looking
Yeah.
person on that and
Yeah.
lean into the joke of look how useless this stuff is and how it doesn't actually affect us. It's not real entertainment value.
But then do you wonder if that was the original pitch of the story, but then the studio had to come in and say, actually,
So
nothing would have changed
there have
if
been-
they put in the sisters.
There have been
with
fan
that.
rumors about Stu for a while, so Stu is going to be used in the series inevitably. But they had to rush this, and so they said, yeah, Stu. People like Stu.
So we'll bring
That's
him
where
in.
we're at.
okay.
So yeah, lots
So-
of phone FaceTime calls with him being like, "I'm gonna get you," and
So we get Neve Campbell with her family. Courtney Cox is back for 5 minutes. We also
This is
get
actually her most screen time.
most screen time and least
in-
likable
in
in
a
my
while.
opinion. She shows
said
up
since
and just
3.
is awful and
Wow.
leaves.
I know.
And then you get the two characters from the previous two movies, Mason Gooding and I'm trying to remember the actress's name, but they show up as
Mindy and Chad.
Gil Weathers' assistant.
The rule people.
Yes.
Yep.
Randy's nephew and niece.
And there's a whole bunch of teenagers. What I liked about this movie, let's be a little positive.
Yeah.
We got
There's- It's slow paced, but there's so much death. Like,
Uh-huh.
I was like, guys, do something. And then when they do it, I'm like, okay.
one of the
all
kills
right.
is,
You
is
were
definitely top
complaining,
10
nobody dies.
kills
Yeah.
of the whole series. There's one that's really, really good.
talking about-
It's at the bar.
Oh,
there's
the bar.
there's
Have a
a bar
drink.
one that's
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's really, really good.
It is epic.
But anytime it goes back into the story, like this is very much a daughter-mother story
Yeah.
about
I guess
is she going to be safe? Are we going to like how
Am
do we?
I overprotecting?
Am I
Patrick doesn't want a
overprotective?
mother-daughter story.
Yeah. Well, I just want a coherent story more than anything. It's a little more substance to it.
This felt like, they didn't have a lot of time to write it, so they watched the new Halloween trilogy. And they went,
Evil Dies Tonight, yeah.
because the whole ploy in this one, the trope is everyone loves the character. Now, we love that Jamie Lee Curtis came back to Halloween, so the killer
now
loves
everyone
that
loves Sydney.
came back to the series.
It's weak. It's very weak.
The ending, the reveal.
That is my only problem with this movie.
Okay, go. Oh,
Only problem?
This is my
just gave you so
comfort
many
food.
problems.
This is my comfort food. I
Yeah.
will pull up to the table, strap on my bib, and eat what they feed me.
Okay.
A Batman
yes.
movie's still a Batman movie.
Yes,
I'm with you on
agreed.
that.
I don't care. But this is 1,000% the worst motive in the entire franchise.
It didn't even make sense when they were explaining it. I was like,
No.
but wait a minute. And you could poke holes at it immediately, too.
Oh, yeah, and you knew who it was
Yeah.
before it got there.
Yeah.
I mean, they put evil eyebrows on the would-be killers at every instance. It's crazy.
And there was no other reason for these actors to even be in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, can we talk about the gratuitous cameos that happened at one point where they're like, let's show that this really was AI. And they do that by bringing in every single person that's been in Scream
Almost.
movies, even Dewey.
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
Dewey gets used against her.
I had to, I'm
Which
going to
could
have to
have
bleep
worked.
that part, but yeah.
So after
Dewey could have worked.
after Scream 7, do you see the door remaining open for further sequels?
Of course, they're gonna
going
take
to. They are already
this cash
talking
cow
about it.
and run with it.
But apparently Nev Campbell has the idea for the next one. So
Great.
I think behind the scenes, I
The
think they
eighth time, they're gonna let's see what you think.
my daughter's named Sydney for a reason.
I think they'll apologize to Marissa Barrera because they realize what she could do for the legacy of the franchise, and she won't come back.
Doubtful.
Oh, yeah,
In
no.
fact, they
I don't
made
think
fun
they'd
of her
apologize.
during this movie.
Yeah.
Did you catch that
Yeah.
part?
Oh,
They
no.
totally just mocked the
lot
fact that
of-
they are not following that story.
There's a lot of knocks on 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But I think they'll try because they try to bring back every character they can.
That's why it's the Rise of
They have to.
Skywalker to me. Okay, I just got it. So I was
It
telling you
is.
this yesterday. This is the Rise of Skywalker. Not in the sense that it's gratuitous legacy cameos and all that, but it's because they want so badly to ignore what they just did
Yeah.
with the movie.
Clean it all up.
Even if the movie before was more coherent, they don't want you to think about that. They want you to think about the original. Remember? You remember?
Yeah.
You
Remember how fun this was?
Remember Emperor Palpatine? He's back.
Oh, I know.
Stu's back. Like stuff like that, where I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, why didn't we learn the lesson for this? But what can they do? They needed to get this movie done, and it was during the writer's strike when all of this was happening.
I think what can help the next one is that they got this one. It's like a pilot, so to speak. They got Nev Campbell back. They gave Sydney another big movie for herself. They brought the daughter in, and now they can expand on that, but also
Listen, I know a guy who
Luke
wrote a
weighs
script
in.
about a meta commentary on the Scream movies. It's actually right up front there. Brooks, you wrote this. And they could go very New Nightmare because we are now we
My own
live
fan film.
almost beyond the A24 and neon horror
But
level.
they already talked about that.
I know, but they joked about it. But there's so much you could parody, right? We saw Cabin in the Woods parody all like
Oh,
the
yeah.
crazy J horror and kaiju stuff.
They're doing another scary movie.
They are.
exactly.
And I honestly, best part of watching this movie was seeing the trailer for Scary Movie
But
6.
there's
Oh, was
there's so
Yeah, it
much
was
better
like,
commentary they could do now that I feel like Scream has used up.
They
I
have
don't know
one
if
more.
could
They got one
continue.
more card in their bag, and this is why it's not Scary Movie in space. It's not Scream in space, but it is Scream 8, the Mega Merger. And it's all going to be about the Stab franchise going to a different company and how
How you can find Stab 1, 2, and 3 on Netflix, but you can't find Stab 4, 5, and 6.
This is this is what's happened. They just released Scream 4 in 4K for the first time, but it's owned by Lionsgate. The rest of them are owned by Paramount. So it's the one movie that they can't use in marketing.
If I were,
They reference it.
Wow, I love that.
They can reference it in the movies
did we just
and call
did we
back
just
to
make
it.
a better Scream 8 than what's
Hey
going to
guys,
happen?
call us.
I think that's a great idea. I would love to see that.
I'm here for you,
Like,
Ghostface.
the
Yeah.
kills just come from like just
I'm ready to
talking about
go.
character rights.
Let's do a War of the Worlds style Scream
I
8.
started it.
It's all
Ghostface stabbing again.
stay right there.
Scream in
Ghostface
real
is
life.
coming.
That's AI.
Don't worry, I'll get Amazon to deliver a package.
Oh no. The first person that's dying is a door dasher or something.
Yeah.
Oh man. You know,
So it's.
I gotta find a big star.
Sorry, Brooks, but it's a skip it.
Yeah, see it or skip it.
this is a skip it for me, unfortunately.
see it
As
if you
much as I
want it.
love.
Yeah.
And let's wind it back
Some
to
of
fun.
us, some people will want to see it, and that's who should see it.
Absolutely.
It was
and
made for
Scream
us.
Yes,
fans.
yes.
And my audience was having fun too. There was a lot of what kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
I heard a couple times just someone saying, "Oh, you can't do that." And, like I was like, "Are you talking to your friend, or is this the movie that you're just yelling
Yeah.
at for everybody?" Still, some good parts in it. One of the best kills that I've
Has some
seen of the last
iconic
3.
kills.
And whether or not you support them going and bringing back all of these old characters and returning actors, it's still member berries. It's still something that I think you enjoyed too. So see it for you.
I say see it.
Skip it for us, but still check out Scream. If you've not seen these movies,
Just as
go
a
back to the
Yeah.
first one.
Start from
see
the
what
beginning.
started it all, and just have fun. Don't get too bogged down into the I've seen this before. Of course you have. That's what they're making fun of.
Yes.
Exactly.
And so it makes it good. And thank you again to the Other Side Donuts for the incredible donuts. And thank you, all of you, for coming on. Brooks, well done, man. You walked us through everything.
Thank
Tell the people
you.
where they can find you.
I can be found on a couple of places. I have therealplace.com, and then I also am on the podcast, the reboot, ironically in a way, Big Movie Mouth Off.
Hey, very cool. Kent, you can follow him at Bacon Sale Podcast or
Showtime Showdown.
And Rebecca, TV Show in Space and Geek Show Podcast. And you can follow us. Go ahead and follow us on our YouTube page, on our Facebook. Make sure that you are following, liking everything. We appreciate all of the support we can get when it comes to those things. Thank you again so much, as always, for watching. And here's a sneak peek at what we're going to be looking at next week.
That was intense.